monsieur.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me clearly. I would like to say hello to everyone, especially to the people in charge of the GCNF, who allowed us to have this exchange today, this sharing of knowledge. It is a sign for us that the COVID-19 is not stopping our determination and our cooperation to fight against the hunger in the world. We'll always move forward regardless of the difficulties. This being said, I am here today to speak to you when it comes in the name of the Minister of the Education that regarding a couple of issues he had with his calendar was not able to address today. So I will share with you the experience of Benin, also with the help of Ryan. We could start first the presentation, please. Thank you very much, Ryan. I don't see it yet. The first slide.
Vous m'entendez?
Can you hear me?
Oui, vous voyez l'écran, Madame Alice?
Can you see the screen? Vous voyez l'écran? It's just the first slide that is shown. I thought the maybe she wants to get access to the second slide.
The first slide, I think that's what she's. Voilà, c'est bon maintenant? OK.
Voilà, c'est bon maintenant. Merci beaucoup. Alors,
all right, it's okay now. Thank you very much. So before going further, it's still interesting to show you a little bit an overview of the program for our national program of school feeding that has been working since 2017 in Benin. So this program is initiated by the government to help primary schooling and so to reinforce the food programs in these zones. Also able to facilitate the programs and to make sure the kids, they can really go to school as easy as possible. So in order to start this program, the government called to the help of the World Food Program. And also the collaboration is very narrow between the two institutions, also with the contribution of the community. So this program is bringing like hot meals that are manufactured and done at the school. A hot meal every day. So every day the kid can enjoy a hot meal. So this program allows us right now. We have around 3,800 schools, and a lot of kids can enjoy this hot meal. So it's around, let's say, it's like one kid out of two that can have access. So this program, beyond the school feeding, also allowed to touch various aspects of the nutrition and also to promote activities like garden activities. It's also ensuring the promotion to promote local buyings towards the small producers. And really, we are calling to develop this model for the whole Benin. Can we go to the second slide, please, Ryan? Thank you. All right, thank you very much. So this is to show you a little bit the different aspects that we work with. So this approach of a home of food in the school can be integrated. So there are many different aspects. For instance, for health, for hygiene, and we're working with collaboration with the different Ministry of Health and the social affair also. When it comes to the nutrition also, we talk about nutrition. Like I told you in the past, we're developing that in Benin, so the buyings can be done locally to the local producer, and also involving the communities is something very important. The parents are part of the management committee of the canteen, of the school canteens. So they also support, they help the people who learn for the school gardens, and they contribute to make better the basket, the food baskets with the government from Benin or so, and also the participation of technical partners. So the parents really help the operational side of it, but they also work with the government of Benin and also the other stakeholders, international stakeholders. And there are also other organizations like NGOs and also private sector that is helping to consolidate this program of school feeding. Thank you, Ryan, to move forward now to the third slide. Thank you very much. Here you can see, I can come back. So what is the object of this meeting that we have today? To share the various experience. So it's very good to say again that the COVID, the first case in Benin were registered in March 2020, the 16th of March 2020. We got the first cases. And the numbers start to grow up to today. But we have an action plan, a national action plan for that. So concerning this plan, to reply to the pandemic of COVID-19 when it comes to the education. So what we did first is we closed our schools for 2 months. But it's good to mention also that when we registered the first COVID cases in Benin, the academic year was really, it was almost the end actually of the academic year. We got 3 semesters, and we were at from 1 month from, or 2 weeks, no, 2 weeks from the end of the second semester. So the holidays that were supposed to arrive at the end of the second semester has been anticipated, and so the kids were sent home. So there's been a systematic closure of each school for 2 months. And then all the schools have been reopened wave by wave. So the kids stayed at home from April to August for some, but the first kids to came back at school from May. So when the schools were closed, what have we been doing? Well, we've been working, we've been trying to keep them during this closure for this program. For instance, the food is disposed in advance at the school, and the school are serving the supplies until stock lasts, and then there is a new stock coming, or when the stock is almost done, there is a kind of action plan that we have to receive some more. So it has been done, so the food can be always on site and can be fresh and available when the school starts. Especially in the areas with high humidity, because we have to mention that when the kids went sent back home, it was the start of the rainy season over there. So during the rainy season, we have to be careful. Also, there could be some floodings. So we have to make sure that all the food received is of quality and is available, and that is properly organized with the participation of the management for the canteen and in the school. There will be also some advocating campaigns, so we can securize all the food. So it's very useful. So when the kids are coming back, they can find a food that is ready to eat, so they can keep eating at school. So this is a bit what we've been doing when the school have been closing. And I would like to add also that when the kids were at home, there was also different advocacy action when it comes to the local radios. Certain NGOs, there is a partnership with some radios, local radios, where content is broadcasted to to advocate towards these kids. Thank you very much, Ryan, for moving forward to the next slide, so we can have a good overview what happened when the school reopened. Well, I was saying that the school reopened by different waves. There was a first wave in May, and the kids at the end of primary school, uh, they had a test, end of year test. So they started again, and the meals, of course, immediately started again. The canteen reopened immediately. So the kids were able to have their hot meal during the lunchtime. But of course, we respect social distancing rules. And also there was a lot of messages of advocating of different actors on respecting social distancing when it was, especially during the school the school meals also. So it was broadcasted on the local radio, really to respect the hygiene rules when the meals are prepared, and also when the meal are when the meal are given, and also reinforcing, for example, the hand washing. This is a strong guideline for us. So systematically, you have to wash your hands for the various schools. There is also a time schedule that was established to say like when the kids have to wash their hands, how should they wash their hands. And thanks to our various partnership, we were able to get some soap and different soap dispenser that were distributed in the schools. And also, like you can see on the poster here, there is something really a little bit DIY that is done with what's on board, what's available, a kind of DIY dispenser. So it has been done with wood and a rope, and so it's allowing with a very simple and basic mechanism, for instance, to have water to wash your hands, and also have the access to soap. So it has to be said that at the end of the academic year, because all the kids were not there, and there was enough food for much more kids than what we have. So the end of the supplies has been redistributed to the various schools, to the kids in the other schools where they had like some other canteens. So so there were plenty of supplies that were given also to the family of these kids to continue to help them and to make sure they can have access to proper supplies, and so they can go through the shock a little bit of this pandemic. Ryan, next slide, please. The next slide, please, Ryan. Thank you. So despite the goodwill and the work that we've been doing, we still had some challenges, major challenges. We're still working on it, and we are currently working on that in order to minimize or reduce or mitigate the impact of these challenges. First is the access to drinkable water, and in the canteens, it's still an issue. Also, the lack of infrastructures. Right now, the kids are eating on site, as I told you, but many schools, the kids are still eating, for example, in the classroom. So they just clear a little bit around, and they take the meal in they wash their hand first, and then they really eat in the classroom. So it's important to have a proper infrastructures where the kids are a little bit more at ease when they're eating. So we really need to have dedicated spaces such as canteen or shops also to keep the supplies and adapted kitchens. So the kid, so the food can be prepared accordingly, even if it's done with local material. It has to be also proper labeling on how to cook the different elements. Also, accessibility for the various places of our country, the Benin. Humidity is a problem during the rainy season. We have difficulties that come to us for the schools located in very humid, in zone rural areas with a lot of humidity. So we have to work to find the right formula. So the supplies that are stocked, that are kept, will be kept in a pristine state. So the fight against humidity is something important. Another issue that we have encountered with the schools that are located in a remote area with a lot of humidity, it's accessibility. So also for the implementation, it's a problem, especially in terms of logistic to bring for the truck that is delivering the food. And finally, voila, you asked me only one or two challenges, but I have a lot. The last challenge is the very weak participation of the communities, because I told you the parents, they have to contribute, they have to pay a little bit. But you know, we have the France CFA, and so a little participation is asked. The parents, they have to pay a little bit, and it's in some schools we have no problem because there is a great organization of the communities, but some other school it's more problematic. The parents are a little bit more reluctant, maybe reluctant to pay. So we should really make sure that we can allow the community to make sure that this program is their own, and also that they can measure and estimate the importance, the vitality of this program. So after the various challenges, Ryan, please, if you can take me to the next slide, that will be the lesson learned. Thank you very much. So the COVID-19 really has shaken us. We've been shaken, but there is something we have to learn from it to move forward. So first, the canteen really allowed to reinforce and to strengthen the resilience of the household in times of crisis, so we can really take care of the hunger on the short term. So it's not possible that the kid go to school with an empty stomach. So that's what we're working on. And really the canteen have been still working when the school reopened, and it really elevated the communities. Also the use of local radio to broadcast, to communicate with communities and provide different messages. So it has been really used, and it really allowed us to provide the communities with different messages, various messages, in order to sensibilize and to advocate also what has to be done regarding this pandemic. Also, another thing that is very important is really the consultation and make sure that everyone can hack together between the various stakeholders to reinforce, to strengthen the efficiency of this program. So we had a committee, of course, at the national level, different sectorial ministries that were in charge to manage the COVID-19 crisis. So the various stakeholders, technical and financial. So I've been discussing the various strategy to implement in order to mitigate this crisis, and also to continue to provide the kids with some food. So we had quite a technical partners and financial partners, NGOs that were available to discuss with her and to reply to the various questions. Also, I would like to highlight that throughout the school boys and the students and the various programs, so everyone that went under the program for the canteen, advocating is reaching to the parents. And even if I'm saying, for example, that the radios have played a role, but not all the parents have access to the radio, to this channel. So when the kids are listening to the radio, then they will transmit the message to the parents. We use also small posters before the school starts, and so it's very vital to also inform the parents, but via the kids. The kids are also a channel of communication. Also, when it comes to the canteen, first we started with really the population and the community the most vulnerable. Next slide, please. So, in terms of perspective, what's going to happen for us in 2021? So it's also very interesting to highlight. So we had a project of a response to the COVID-19 that is part of a plan. And this plan will be integrated to our sectorial plan for education. So January to December 2021. So there will be funding. So the way this canteen will work will be properly funded, because we have to be honest and say that the parents do not have sometimes enough income or enough money to improve the basket, the average basket of the kids. So also throughout this plan, we would like also make some impact, the study of impact on the school canteens, and also capitalize also on the current experience of Benin, and share with various technical partner and financial partner the World Food Program and for the education also. So there is this plan that is currently being elaborated, and that will bring strong answers in order to mitigate the impact of COVID-19, and more specifically in the impact of in the field of education. So that's for the year 2021. And if I'm wrong, I will come back later in order to correct a little bit. So thank you very much for showing us the opportunities of collaboration. I already started to elaborate on that. First is the partnership with the PTF, with the private sector, because there is a lot of goodwill from the private sector. They undertake a lot of action, logistic action to help the canteen. So we need to capitalize on the experiences, the various experiences and initiatives that are related to the COVID-19. Also integrate the new orientation in the sectorial plan of the education for the SDGs 2019-2030. As I said also, when it comes to the parent, I think that it will be on a one-year plan from January to December 2021. This is what's in the plan for us. I would like to correct already the sectorial plan for the education. It's not 2019, it's 2018 to 2030. That's the length. That's the length of integration and implementation of the plan for the management of the plan in the sector of education. There is also partnership with PTF and the people from the private sector. This will allow the acquisition of different materials, different equipments. I told you before, in the different challenges, the non-access to drinkable water is still an issue. So we need to find different alternatives to work on this issue. Maybe hydroalcoholic gel, because we need some water to prepare the food, but we need even more water to wash hands. But so it's very good when we have hydroalcoholic gel, so we can wash our hands without the use of water. So we are trying to work and to mitigate this issue of water demand, of drinking, of proper water demand, also when it comes to the infrastructures. So these are the various areas of opportunities for collaboration. And also what we should put the stress on. So I really would like to thank you for your participation. If you have questions, of course, I will be glad to reply. So if anyone can understand a bit better.